Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Joel. Joel is from Montana in the USA. So let's see what Joel has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello. Hello. Perfect. How are you, Joel?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
Yes.
My God, I like your background. Where is that?
Missoula, Montana.
Right. And but what is it? You are in your garden? Where is it?
Oh, this is like a national forest park on the edge of the city.
National. I see. So you're outside of the city.
Yes.
I see. Okay, Joel. So tell me, before we start the game, tell me, what do you do for a living?
I do travel nursing. For the past 10 months to a year, I've been doing COVID units pretty much full time. And now I'm doing ER and COVID units. Some long-term care.
So tell me a little bit about your job.
So I work for a couple different agencies, and they contract out when hospitals are, full and they don't have a lot of staff. They call our agency and then they list it, and then I can choose if I want to go for a long term or a short term, and where I want to go. It's kind of nice, flexible hours. So right now I'm working in a little acute care ER, critical access trauma ER is what we call it, on the interstate in the mountains, and it's pretty fun. Get to see a lot of stuff.
I see. So, this agency, you can go in different parts of your state or anywhere.
Depends on what the agency's boundaries are. Mine is just for Montana. This is where my license is right now. But I used to go all over North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming.
I see. Very interesting. You saying that, actually, I had an interview with someone from Germany the other day, and he does the same job as you, actually. He's from Munich. But he was in Berlin. He was in a hotel room when you're doing the interview. He was like, "Really, I just came to Berlin because I have like a week of work here as a nurse." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. I never heard that before." So it was the first time when I heard about this job, that he could be, working in hospital. He could be at different places as well. It's where they needed him. I found very interesting.
Yeah. Right now, there's a lot of need. We're short-staffed most of the time. A lot of times our units, wherever we work, are, down 50% at least, if not more.
Yeah, he said exactly the same as well. Okay, Joel, so just before we start our journey, William and the Magic Box, some people passing by. Not a problem. So before we start our journey, William and the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
I'm originally from Romania. I grew up on a cattle and sheep ranch in the middle of nowhere, Montana. I play music. That's kind of my pastime, secret side of me. A lot of people don't know about yet. So, yeah.
I see. I could see in your profile that same musician in your profile.
Yeah, I finally got the nerve to put it in there.
So you were born in Romania, but you've been raised in Montana in the US?
Yeah, during the Gulf War, there was the dictator of Romania was assassinated, and they had a lot of Americans come over and adopt as many kids as they could. And so, my parents heard about it on the radio, and they went with a group from over here and spent quite a few months there and got my brother and I.
So you and brother was adopted from Romania with your parents. Amazing. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Guess what? My flatmate is from Romania.
Really?
Yes. I was having dinner now and she was cooking.
Wow.
And how old are you when you moved to the US?
So I was a couple weeks old when they found me. I think I was, by that time, maybe a month it was Valentine's Day when I came to America. So yeah, about a month. My birthday's in January. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have more connection with the country.
Oh, my parents are part of this missionary program with our church, and we've housed a lot of people from Romania, and we had a foreign exchange student for a year. And so I've tried to keep up with a little bit of our heritage, and they made us go to these, well, they didn't make us, but we went to these Romanian reunions, they were called, like every 4 years around the country for quite a while to learn the dances and the culture and meet other kids. It's kind of like this.
Amazing. Oh, wow. Very interesting. Okay, Joel, so are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes, sure, of course.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my lovely box full of wonderful questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay? Are you feeling more relaxed?
Yes.
It's all very friendly, you see. Okay, let's do it. Okay, Joel, so just before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't have an answer for, you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly. Okay. First question for you is, oh, I love this question. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for.
Okay, I would say, be more secure in yourself and find out who you are. Don't rush things so much because it can hurt others in the long run. So I have that one. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, Joel. What's the biggest risk have you ever taken?
Biggest risk? Probably starting my travel nursing career. That was really scary. Going to new places that I didn't know where I was going to be from, going, who I was going to work with, especially when COVID units started. There was a lot of anxiety with that. I had panic attacks, nightmares. I had to see a therapist at the beginning because it was very stressful. Not the unknown and not knowing if you're doing the right job, if you're going to have help tomorrow, if the world is going to come crashing in on you through those doors. So probably that would be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the nurses, the healthcare, people work in healthcare, I think they never faced such a challenge time in their lives as, with this COVID crisis, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's being very challenged, for sure. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, Joel, tell me, what do you like the most of being a nurse? What's the best part of being a nurse? And what's the most challenging part, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's great. My favorite part is those moments when the patient is at their weakest or lowest point of their life or their journey in healthcare, in the hospital, in their illness. And they look to you for that support, for that encouragement, and they tell you that, your help and support means a lot to them. But patience is everything. I think that is probably my highlight of that part. And the most challenging part, really, in my life has been the family, whether it's something horrible that's happened in the ER all the way to something in long-term care where you're trying to get something changed on the benefit of that patient and their family doesn't see it that way or agree. That's pretty hard.
See. Cool. Next question for you is, what's something you always want to do, but you're scared of?
Music. I've always, music has been in my blood since I was a little boy. I was singing in my diaper. I was jumping on my bed, singing Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys, and Celine Dion, of course. And, now I get a chance to finally kind of branch out there, and it's scary. It's terrifying. I don't know how people are going to react and if it's going to go anywhere. But.
So it's amazing. So music always been around your life since a young age.
Yes, my mom has played the piano and sang with me for, it's taken me all over the world to pretty much every state you could think of, in choir, at music camps. And it's been something that's always been a very personal solo journey though. So it's kind of exciting that maybe it won't be so solo.
Do you feel more, let's say, do you feel more confident now that you were before, like more confident or you kind of still feel a little bit, let's say, this butterflies feeling when is still there?
It's still there. I think that's healthy. I think everybody should have a little bit of butterflies. If you don't, then you're doing something wrong. But Lady Gaga said, this is hard work. She said, it doesn't, if you have a passion, you should have a discipline for it. And it doesn't matter if you fall on your face or how many times you get pushed down or told no, it's how many times you get up and keep going. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of music. So.
Absolutely. I believe that, when your talent is there, when you feel your passion, when you feel your intuition, when you feel the butterflies, it's all part of the journey. I think if you don't have those butterflies anymore, so it doesn't, what's the point? You know what I mean? I think you need to have those insecurities as well. Everything is part of the journey, I believe.
Yes.
Very good. I love Britney Spears, by the way. Say again?
Leave Britney alone. I don't know. That's the American thing. I don't know if I saw that.
Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, Joel. Talking about music, look, what is the soundtrack of your life and why?
Sometimes I feel like it's the theme song to Jaws. And other parts, I feel like it's the theme song to Titanic. And but mostly it's probably just the theme song to Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think it depends the period of our lives, you know what I mean? Next question. Before the next one, tell me, I could see you have a tattoo in your arm here.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it.
All my tattoos have something to do with music. So this one is arrows. I got it when one of my best friends, he was in a car accident, and I was waiting for him to wake up from a coma. We were supposed to get tattoos. So we went across the street, and my friend and I got my first tattoos there. And it's I used to do archery growing up. And Kelly Musgraves had a song, Follow Your Arrow. And that was really close to me. It still is. And so that's why I got that one.
Wow. How old were you when you had this tattoo?
Oh, I think it was like 25 or something, 24 or 25.
Yeah. I see. Great. Next question is, if you could be in somebody's place for 24 hours, who that would be and why?
Oh, I'd have to say Demi Lovato. She's probably one of my heroes. Her life must be so interesting, and she has so many amazing views on life, and they change a lot, but yeah, probably Demi Lovato.
And what's your favorite song of her?
Oh, no. Used to be Sorry, Not Sorry. But now it's probably Anyone or Dancing with the Devil from her new album. Yeah.
And what's the music is about, the lyrics?
It's that's where I got this tattoo actually. It's about addiction. She struggled with addiction a lot, and she overdosed, and it almost took her life. And she had strokes and a heart attack, and was blind for a while. She wasn't able to sing. She didn't think she'd ever sing again. She created this album, kind of saying, "I'm tired of Hollywood. I don't really care anymore." And she's saying, talks about how the seclusion and loneliness she felt, even in surrounded by so many other people. That's why she wrote that one. And Dancing with the Devil talks about how, everybody thought she was fine, and she really wasn't. And when you're dancing with the devil, sometimes it's hard to get out of that dance, and she, did. So it's pretty neat.
Amazing. Actually, didn't know that about her, that she went through a lot of addiction at the time. I didn't know that. That's new for me. Wow, very interesting. She's quite young, isn't she? How old is she? Do you know?
I think she's my age, 30, 31, 30, yeah, 32.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Ready for another question?
Yep.
Let's do it. Joel from Montana. I must say something actually. You are my first guest from Montana.
I figured as much.
I had actually this week, I just reached 500 interviews on the show so far. I have a lot of, most of my guests, they are from America, but you are my first guest from Montana, if I'm not wrong, because there's been so many people, but I think you are my first one from Montana.
Congratulations. Yes, that's neat. I'm pretty sure I would be the only one.
Right, next question is, what is the silliest thing have you ever posted online on social media?
Silliest. Oof. I posted this TikTok that got around to all of my coworkers about me eating cheese and being lactose intolerant. How it was going to be the death of me. But I love cheese so much, I was going to do it anyway. Oh my gosh, that one probably.
Next one, let's do it. Good dancer you are. I can see some moves now. When I was checking your profile, Joel, I could see that a few pictures, you have a little girl by your sides. Who is that?
Two girls, yes. Those are my daughters. They're 10 and 9, going to be going on 35 and 98, I swear. They're so grown up and mature. They're with my mom right now when I'm working. Sayla is my oldest, Sayla Renee, and she's my carbon copy. She's going to be a vet and save all the animals. It's hard to find her without an animal in her hand. And Suri Ellen, she's my youngest. And she's this little ballerina that, creates fairy gardens in the woods and creates Play-Doh and slime. And everything's magical and made up for her. So it's beautiful to see.
Oh, amazing. Saying that, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from your kids so far in your life?
Yes. I'd say communication, listening to them, being patient, holding your tongue when you're angry, but more so listening to them, because they're the ones that are going through so much, and we've already gone through it. We can't expect our kids to just know how to do something when that's for their first time. And so that's taught me a lot of patience and a lot of grace.
I think we learn a lot with kids. I think, being around them, you always learn something new. Like every day, there's always something to learn with kids, for sure. I agree.
Yes.
Proud dad, look your face, very proud.
Yes.
Okay, next question is, what's one movie you could watch over and over?
Uh, The Wizard of Oz probably is one of them. I've always loved that one.
Why?
Just because, I think it's because at a young age, I was in the middle of nowhere. I was homeschooled a lot, country school, just with my brother. And we grew up on a ranch, no other outside world. And it was very much like the world that Dorothy grew up in. And I always just dreamed that a twister would take me away to some beautiful, magical land where there was singing and dancing and it was okay to be yourself. And yeah, I think that's probably why.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful movie. Next question, Joel. Let's do it. Next question for you is, do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person, and how?
Yeah, I do. Not religious. I learned the difference a lot when I hit adulthood. My parents are very, very spiritual, but yet religious as well. And growing up in that strict background, it forced me to kind of rebel, I think, when I got to college. But now in my adult life, I've been able to, become an ordained minister and learn what being a child of God is for me and my family and my patients. And the hope that I can give them isn't necessarily shoving religion down their throat or a structured way of thinking from the Bible. It's giving them hope and faith and something to lean on, just letting them know, God's love. And that's what spirituality should be. So absolutely. No matter what religion.
Absolutely. I think we should be conscious that being spiritual, it doesn't need to be connected with religion. It doesn't need to be connected. I think being spiritual is a personal thing. It's for you to believe whatever you believe, whatever you go after, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like being nice to people, or go after your. I think that's what being spiritual is. Always try to be the best every day, and be a better person. It doesn't matter whatever you believe, whatever you can call God, universe. You can call anything, but it's a very personal thing. I always believe that as well.
I have a lot of friends who don't believe in the Judaic Christian faith or a God or Jesus Christ. They believe in much more natural nature things, Buddha. I have Muslim friends, I have Catholic friends that are very religious. That's what gives them hope and peace. And so it's beautiful to see all types of lives and walks. I think people tend to be so focused on, well, if they're not like I am, then that can't be truly how their walk with God is right, or it must be wrong because it's not just like mine. But that's the wrong mindset.
Yeah, again, being spiritual as well, for me, I think that it's for you to respect as well other people's beliefs. Do you know what I mean? I think it's all about yourself being open, approachable, and understanding as well. If people believe that doing that or believing that gods or going to the church or the temple, whatever they think, if for them it's making them feel good about it, you know what I mean? That's, if you respect that, that's about being spiritual for me. It's about respect as well. You know what I mean? Even if it doesn't make any sense for me, even if for me it's like pointless, but if you respect, you know what I mean? Why not? I think whatever you believe, it makes you a better person, like being approachable. That's what spiritual is for me as well.
I challenge everybody, I think, just once in your life, or, if you find a friend that has a different religion than you should go to their temple or their church or their group and just try to understand them more, because that's how people are going to. That's how we're gonna have world peace, is if people just become more, empathetic.
Yeah, totally agree. Next question, Joel, from Montana. Let's do it. Before the next question, as you are my first guest from Montana, tell me what Montana stands out compared with other states in the US, in your opinion? What's something that I always can find in Montana, cannot find anywhere else in the US? What that would be?
Oh man, so I've been to almost every state, and it seems like the thing that keeps me here is the beautiful mountains, the rolling mountains with the valleys and the trees, and how it changes so vastly into canyons and deep gorges, and the colors in the fall. It's just breathtaking. The rivers and streams, the hot springs, that is something I've never seen before. Being able to sit in a hot spring naked next to a river in the woods as it's snowing is one of the most magical things. I think you should definitely try it.
Amazing. I'll put in my list when I come there for the first time, okay?
Yeah.
Next question for you is, what's your all-time favorite band and why?
Well, wow. So I really like Missio. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're not really have a lot of songs, really. I like them because they're very blunt about some of the things in life. I like Hoyser from England. I believe he's from England. Yeah. I'm glad that he has been so open in the LGBTQ community about a lot of his music. That's pretty neat. I want to say I grew up with Green Day as my band that I listen to all the time, but that's kind of your typical American boy, I guess. So.
Very good. Right. I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Joel, before the next one, as you mentioned about LGBTQ community, are you straight or are you gay?
It fluctuates, I think, for me. I've always been very flexible, I think, in my life. I think a lot of it had to do with the way I was raised, the structure of religion. Now that I'm older and more rooted in myself and what I believe in, and I have a foundation of who I can be and who I don't need to be anymore. And I'm also raising daughters who I tell them I love you no matter what, who you are, who you're with, and they love me for the same reason. So I think that support has just made me more confident in who I am. I think everybody can be fluid if they want to be. It should be an option for them. Yeah.
Okay, so are you out? You okay to talk about?
Yes. Yeah. I was. My last relationship was with a man for 8 years, and my family started to kind of accept that. I was also married to a woman, the mother of my kids. We were married for a couple of years. Right out of high school, my first time at a party in college, in nursing school. That's how that went about. And so my parents were like, "You're getting married." So it was probably not the best choice, but it gave me 2 beautiful kids and 2 beautiful stepkids. So I wouldn't change that for the world.
Amazing. Good. It's good to hear like someone, you know what I mean, as you said about you got 2 daughters and you kind of had the 2 sides of first, you know what I mean, as you said, your parents, they kind of, you know what I mean, that's not push you, but kind of, how would you say that? Not, I wouldn't say push you, but they kind of direct you to this, you know what I mean, the normal way of, you know what I mean, that the society says needs to be this way. And also, as you got older, you kind of understood yourself better, and now you kind of accept who you are, and you went that direction, which makes you happy. And I think everything in life happens for a reason, but when you understand and you can be yourself in the future, I think that's what matters, I believe, as well.
Yeah, there used to be a time in my life when I was so depressed and wanted to end my life and wanted to just run away and hide, and thought I was this horrible, disgusting human being just because, of who I was attracted to. And that's, I think, the darkest thing we could ever allow somebody to think in their life is for just wanting to love somebody. So.
And you're saying that, Joel, I'll tell you something now. As a young teenager, remember when you're 12, when you start to get to know yourself, the puberty is coming. I remember going to the church because I actually have been raised in the church. Like, I loved going to the church. My mom never pushed me. I just loved it. I just liked going to the church, and I had this connection. I think because I was helping the priest doing the math. I was, you know what I mean, in the choir. So I think that's what I like the most. And but saying that, I remember praying at the church, like praying not to be this way, or not to, because I couldn't understand why I was feeling attraction to men. I couldn't understand, and in my thought was wrong, because again, I didn't have information, I didn't have any, you know what I mean, any knowledge. So imagine for a teenager going through the situations, you don't understand things, and it's wrong, because that's the way society told us to be, or guide us anyway. But yeah, you're saying that, I remember as well, I had those situations in my life that I was praying, I was like, I don't want to be this way. But again, the older you get, you start to get to know even better about yourself. You start following your intuition. Of course, for you must be a bit harder because you already had kids involved, you know what I mean, like a marriage. So that is more difficult, I think. And I think it's so dangerous when you don't have support, because you can see that is a sin. You can see that you are different. You know what I mean? So, but I think nowadays, I think with the technology and the internet, I think it's more visible now. The information is all there. There's no way for you to run away anymore. It's so, you know what I mean, visible there. So I think nowadays it's a better place, let's say this way.
Yeah, I never, growing up, I wish that I would have had some type of connection or somebody. I finally had a mentor later on in life who helped me. His name was Steve, and he was a lot, quite a bit older than me, but he was in the church, and he, came out and he, used to go on long walks and talk with me for hours, and really helped me kind of gain that that adolescent puberty growth that I needed in being, knowing that it'd be okay to be gay if I wanted to be. I also, my first boyfriend was from Brazil, and his mother was very, she kind of knew, I think, and she would be very, very forceful in her way of letting us know that that was not okay. He's still one of my good friends today, but yeah.
I see. Yeah. So you're saying your boyfriend was from Brazil? From Brazil? Which part?
São Paulo.
São Paulo. Amazing. Good. Right. Next question for you. Define yourself in a season of the year, and why?
I would have to say probably fall, because that's when I connect with myself the most. I think the change is very melancholy for me. It's very dramatic. I mourn summer leaving, and I'm anxious about winter coming. That's kind of Joel. that's Joel in the nutshell. I'm very, theatrical and very emotional. I feel everything, and I mourn very loudly, and I am anxious very loudly. So probably fall.
Is your birthday around fall as well?
It's not. It's actually January, New Year's, January 2nd. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm just saying that because somebody told me once that you feel very connected with the season of the year when you were born. And for me, it works really well because my birthday is November and I love the fall as well. The fall for me is the most beautiful. It's very European. I don't know, the colors, as you said about the colors, it's just beautiful. It's unique. Not very cold, not very warm. It's kind of middle, like this crispy, you know what I mean, feeling. So it's amazing. I love the fall as well.
The time of reflection, people are, life is changing, and when life is changing around you, you change as well.
Yeah, cool. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Before the next question, of course, through those 2 years that the world is being facing the COVID crisis, being very challenged, and of course for people like you work in healthcare, it's been, as I said before, one of the most challenging time ever. But looking through those 2 years, since the COVID started, what is the most positive thing you took out of this challenge journey so far?
Family. Never taking for granted a single day. Because for some people, their whole lives will change in 24 hours. And I've seen how somebody who's up and walking and just fine and has everything that they could have ever wanted in life can go from that to a body bag in just 24 hours. So I think that real realization for them and their family who never get to be with them, I think that was one of the biggest mistakes we could have ever made in healthcare. But not being able to be with your family and your loved ones, to never take a day for granted, because you'll never know what tomorrow has, and you never know how much time you get to have with them. So, yeah.
Next question for you is easy question. What is your luck number?
Well, I'm gonna say my lucky number is 11. It's the number of the angels, and I always see 11 everywhere, and yeah, I don't know why, but that's my lucky number.
Very good, very good.
Joel, also the number of November.
Again?
Also the number of November.
Yes, for sure. 11, for sure. Ready for the last one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question. I will charge your phone when I put the music on, so you can enough to take it out.
Caught that, huh?
I will while you don't worry. It's funny because I could see when I was doing the matchbox, you're like connected, and when I start talking, you take it out. Amazing. Before the last question, say again.
I love technology.
Before the last question, Joel, people watch the interview. Would you like to start a career as a nurse? What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
I would say that if you have the patience to listen to your grandfather or grandmother for an entire half hour or hour, talk about their bowels and their pills and their ailments, then go for it. Then go be a nurse. If you don't feel like you have that patience, then you should never start, because it does take a lot of patience, and a lot of compassion, and a lot of listening. Yeah.
Good one. Last question for you is, what does your best friend do that comforts you the most?
My best friend, in the most, exciting times or troubling times in my life, he always is there to celebrate or or encourage, but to sit there and listen. I think listening is, the overall thing of this whole interview is be patient and listen to one another and be empathetic. And sometimes that's all we need, is just somebody to sit there next to us. And he does a good job with that. Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to talk about work. I don't need to. He knows it's bad. So it's nice to just have somebody sit there and look at a fire with.
Amazing. Okay, Joel, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words and just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
All right.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
Vacations.
Okay. Money.
Not as important.
How about love?
Fairy tale.
Okay. One word for life.
Ever challenging.
How about sex?
An escape.
Okay. Politics.
I want to say corruption, but that's not so many. I want to say corruption. I'm going to. Yeah.
Okay. One word for religion.
Outdated.
Fear.
Unrealistic.
Friendship.
A gift.
Desire.
Human.
Regrets.
A lesson.
Success.
In the eye of the beholder. That's more than one word. But.
Okay. One word for wish.
Prayer.
Happiness.
Family.
One word for Montana.
Mountains.
USA.
Broken.
One word for Romania.
Growing.
Okay. And the last one now. Nurse. One word.
A blessing.
Great. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends, tell me the most beautiful thing about Joel, and tell me something that he still needs to improve on, to work on. What he would say?
I think my friends would say that when I am able to be present, I'm very engaging and uplifting. I try to be. I like to have fun. I'm very, very dramatic in everything that I do. So it's always kind of a party. My nickname is Jolo, and my friends always, every time I'd come into a bar or a restaurant or a house, everybody would scream, Jolo, because Jolo's here. I don't know. Jolo only lives once. I don't know if you heard of Jersey Shore, but that's where it came from. So I would say that the thing that I need to work on most, my friends would say, is consistency. I tend to draw back a lot in my life, with work, or sometimes depression. I have bipolar, and sometimes it's hard for me to stay consistent in my friendships or connectivity, especially with traveling all the time can be hard. So I think that's the one thing I've heard mostly is being able to stay connected. So that's something I need to work on.
Good. Let's play now Joel and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time.
All right.
Actually, before you ask me the question, as you said that you had a Brazilian boyfriend in the past, what is your favorite Portuguese word?
I can't say it on here. I used to. So I used to raise pigs for fair for 4-H and FFA growing up, and nobody else could speak Portuguese in my family. So I named them all how I was feeling about them, and one was chato, one was filho de puta, and one was punta. I think, I don't know. But probably muito obrigado. It just sounds so beautiful to me. It was one of my first words that I ever learned, obviously. But it was so much different than the way anybody else in other languages, Romanian or English or French even, the way they say thank you. I just thought, it's very, a dance, like almost the language is so, well, like me, dramatic and expressive, and just, the way that it's always said in the same way, but in different inflections versus a male or a female. It's just beautiful. Muito obrigado. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, well, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, I was been thinking of this. How has music impacted your life? And do you think you would be where you are today without music?
I love the question. Amazing, beautiful. I love music. I think music always being part of my life. I cannot live one day or live like without music. Music being around me all the time. And it's very interesting, because when you are very happy, when you are very, full of energy, music brings you this beautiful energy, and it makes it even better. When you are sad or melancholic, I love putting those dramatic music, because even though you are sad, but you feel the sadness in a different way. You feel the melancholic in a different way. It feels more kind of cozy in a way. So I think music, it's always have a big impact in my life, because even though sometimes all of us have those days when we are not like full of energy, we are going through something not very pleasant, or you are facing a challenge. But as soon as you put a music on, it just helps you to clear your mind. It helps you to see the challenge in a different way. It just brings you this good energy. So yes, totally. I'll say yes for your answer, because music always had a big impact in my life, for sure. Since very early age, I cannot live without music. Different kind of music, different melodies, Brazilian, English, French, a lot of music that I listen to. It's always brings me good vibes, and it transports me to parts of my life. That's the only way to get there, through music. Sometimes you forget some bits in your life, but this music come along and you go like, oh my God, I haven't thought about that for ages. Oh my God, this music brought me to that occasion. Music always being a big part of my life, and always will be. I cannot, even doing this show, you know what I mean? I couldn't do this show just when I put this music on. It just helped me to, to bring this joy with my guests on the show. And I can see, even if they cannot hear properly, or they can listen a little bit of the melody, I can see their smile as well. They're like, oh, I like this sound, I like this. So yeah, you see, music always brings some joy, you know what I mean, for whatever you are doing, for sure.
it connects people. That's beautiful. I always say, I said this not long ago, that the gifts that God has given us, of way of expressing each other, to each other, whether there's a language boundary or not. Well, what do we have? We have tears, we have laughter, we have angry noises and screaming, but we have music to, no matter what language, we have music to express all of that. And it's something that it's in all of us somehow, and it's the way that we can communicate and self-ground ourselves, and pump ourselves up, and connect like we are now, and make us feel more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Or like Susha. Do you remember Susha?
I can't believe you said that now. I can't believe you know Shusha. I can't believe it. I'm a big fan. I think I'm the biggest fan of Shusha ever I can't believe you said Shusha.
Yeah, well, my first dog, Shusha, just passed away not that long ago, but yeah, Shusha.
Shusha for me, it's the most like, you know what I mean? It's actually I can see her in front of me here, the computer, because I've got so many music of her.
No way.
Shusha for me, it's a big, everyone who knows me knows how much I love Shusha.
Wow. Like Celine Dion for me.
Shusha for me, and of course, I think you know her because of your ex-boyfriend, yeah? Shusha, it's actually, I was talking about music before answer your answer. I was thinking about her because her songs always brought me this joy in life. Even now, for kids, her music, even though sometimes when I go to the gym, every time when I go to the gym, I have her music playing, and I go like, oh my God, if people here knowing that I'm listening to those Shusha songs for kids, they would go like, why are you listening to those songs? Because it's just a joy, it brings me to my childhood, and I love Shusha. Oh my God, I can imagine. You just made my day now, the way that you know her. Oh my God.
I used to wake up, at Edgelini's house, and she would make us a fried egg on toast with mayonnaise. I don't know why, because you guys are weird. And we would watch Shusha, and I don't know.
Oh my God, I love that now. Oh, you will become best friends now just because of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Joel. Look, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. I loved it so much. Thank you so much for having me and letting me express myself this way. It was nice.
Oh, I'm so glad that we managed, you know what I mean? I'm so glad that we did, because, seeing this beautiful smile, seeing you so open, about your life. And thank you so much. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Thank you very much for you to take the time for the interview. It was a pleasure. Thanks for being so open and talk about your memories in life, and about your joys as well, about your kids. Thanks so much for taking the time. I really appreciate. Thanks for taking the chance, because you said you were quite nervous, and I'm so glad that we did that, because just connect with you. It's been very pleasant, and now I like you even more after you said about Shusha. I just like you more.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being so brave and for going on this journey. I'm so excited for you, and thank you for being so patient with me.
No, as I said, I didn't think you're serious, because, and now I understand, it's just because the work you do. Now I understand why, because you're like, oh, let's do like tomorrow, today. I was like, okay, let's do it. You said, oh, you not reply. I said, oh my God, I think he's not serious about it. Now I understand.
Shifts, like I just got off work, and now I have to go record in the studio for 4 hours. Then I go back to work, and my life is just crazy.
Oh my God, amazing. Thanks so much. And before you go, just if you can tell a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
Yeah, I would just reiterate, this world, as fast as it seems like it's spinning out of control, we have so much control. It only takes a few minutes to be patient, to be kind, to try to listen to somebody, and don't take things for granted. Falling in love is beautiful, but listening to your family and their needs is important as well as your own. This is a time when we need to just be thankful for the days that we get. So yeah, be patient, listen to each other, enjoy your family. Thank God for every moment you get, and listen to music.
Yes, always, always, always. Joel, muito obrigado. Thank you very much for the interview. Thank you. Keep in touch, okay? Enjoy your day.
Yes. God bless you.
You too. Bye-bye. Tchau, tchau.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Até logo.
Até logo. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.